Hello and welcome to the first ever episode of the Clock Cleaners Podcast. I'm Matt.
And I'm Keith.
And here we're going to have our WrestleMania 33 predictions. So we came up with a prospective list of how we feel the matches are going to go.
What makes the most sense in our minds, anyway.
Yeah. So we started off with, on the pre-show, we think that Aries versus Neville is going to be the first match. So how you feeling about this one?
I think that's the best match to go on first. It'll at least get the audience kind of hyped.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah.
And if this was on the main card, I think it would have been possibly the match to steal the night, to be honest.
It's true. Technically, still could be, but
absolutely. But if it's going to go on first, it's not really going to be one that overshadows anything else.
Well, but you got to remember, it's Banana Boy. He tries to steal the show all he can.
Yes, and they're doing a very good job pushing 205 Live with the two of them anyway.
Well, minus the fact that they don't show any of the Raw segments on the Hulu version.
Well, yeah, that's another topic for a different discussion.
It's true.
Yeah. But I think we're going to get a very good match between them with Austin Aries winning the title.
You think that Aries is going to win the title on the pre-show WrestleMania?
I believe so.
Okay, well that's your opinion. I'm firmly against that. I think that Neville's most certainly going to win. So
and have Austin chase it, and
yes,
maybe
there's going to be a long program until SummerSlam. I think that's the best way to do it because otherwise you're not really doing much a whole lot with them because it's been a back and forth. Well, not a back and forth, but the title's been changing hands constantly.
Right, but I
think Neville's sorry. I think Neville is a champion where you want to have him dominate, and then just keep Aries in the picture.
Right, but I think if Aries gets one over on him and Neville comes and goes super heel and just starts destroying everybody in 205 Live before he gets his title back, it kind of.
Well, that would be good storytelling, but we're also got to think a little logically here how the WWE likes to do things.
Well,
so
as long as Roman Reigns can't be on 205 Live, we'll be all right.
I guess that's true. Because imagine how much he would no-sell the cruiserweights.
What, 450 splash? Right up.
Exactly. All right. Next, we have the Women's Six-Pack Challenge.
This is a tough one for me.
Well, who's going to be in that challenge?
I don't know. It looks like the champion Alexa Bliss will obviously be defending. You have Becky Lynch, Natalya, Mickie James, Carmella with James Ellsworth.
Thank God.
And introduced on SmackDown, she's returning from her injury, is Naomi.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts here?
Well, first of all, sadly, they established that it's going to be a six-pack challenge instead of continuing with the openness of all available wrestlers.
You know what I'm really disappointed in, though?
What?
That Tyler Breeze was not able to be in the match.
That would have been really funny. The two, Breezy Bella would have been my favorite to win the match if he was allowed to be in it.
I really liked Danielle Bryan's reaction when
What?
Tyler Breeze, where did you come from?
Yeah, that last episode of SmackDown was fantastic. Or at least that was my opinion.
No, I agree wholeheartedly.
But yeah, the way that I'm gonna pick Naomi for this one. She had to give up the title for whatever reason because Brock Lesnar cannot defend the title for months at a time. But Naomi misses 3 weeks, and all of a sudden she has to give it up.
Or Dean Ambrose, I think. When was the last time? Did he? Oh, he defended it right after he won it against.
I'm sure he
right?
defended it on SmackDown.
Yeah,
at some point. But it only helps when it's good for your story, apparently. Anyway, I'm gonna pick Naomi. Her showing on SmackDown made it look like she was gonna come in and kick some ass.
Yes, and very over with the crowd as well.
Oh yeah, they loved it. And she's the new. She's probably the top face on SmackDown. Yeah, even Becky Lynch is gonna get the pop every time.
Right.
But I think the crowd always wants to see something new and different. And I think that Naomi is going to be the case for a while. Hopefully, at least.
Now, my only problem with this is that the WWE doesn't have a very good track record for people doing well in their hometown, where Naomi is from Orlando, I believe.
Well, that is true, but it's not necessarily a thing. It's just a coincidence. And I think people take more stock into when it doesn't happen than when it, like, you know what I mean?
No,
So they'll be
I
like,
gotcha.
oh, they're the hometown heroes. They have to win. But maybe they don't think about that when they're actually booking.
Now, I think it would have been logical for Naomi to get her first title win here rather than win it at Elimination Chamber.
It's true. That would make more sense. But either way.
But as far as my prediction, I think Alexa Bliss is going to retain her title.
It's a safe bet, you know.
I mean, not really.
No, honestly, it's either her or Naomi. I don't think anyone else has a chance. It's not going to be Mickie James. It's certainly not going to be Natalya. I think Becky Lynch has probably a good chance of having a pretty big storyline heading into like the SummerSlam programs or whatever.
Oh, absolutely.
But for now,
but then we have to think, where is Asuka playing?
Well, we don't even know if she's going to come up. You know what I mean? She could do the regular NXT thing where you drop your title at a takeover and then you hang around at least until the next one.
You still need a rematch. That's true. And the next one would be what, SummerSlam weekend, right? Where
Maybe,
they have a weird
they usually
one in
have
June.
one in the middle of summer.
Yeah.
Or at the beginning of the summer.
No, it was June because remember we watched it or did we just watch a regular event when we did Eternal Con?
I don't remember. It could be that June sounds right. I don't know for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, it could be that she gets a rematch there, and then they announce another draft for July.
Right.
And then she gets drafted to SmackDown. She's the first
That's a
woman
good
that gets
point.
drafted,
That's a
or
good point.
however they end up doing it. But yeah, moving on.
The next match is the Andre the Giant Battle Royal.
Yeah, it's the Tag Team Palooza.
Let's include everybody on WrestleMania, so we'll put them all
everybody's
in the
got to
match.
get paid.
It's true. So, what are you feeling on this one?
It's got to be Braun Strowman.
Braun would have been my pick, but I think Elias Sampson's gonna win.
You're an idiot. He's not even on the thing. He's not going to be there.
I know. Now that was a joke.
Okay, good.
He could though.
No, he can't.
I like Sami Zayn in this one.
He's probably number 2.
Because
It's got to be one of the two because he's got that feud with Stephanie going on.
right, and I don't know if they're gonna continue the Big Show and Strowman, where they end up eliminating each other, and they kind of go with that on Raw for a little while until they find something else for Strowman to do.
Only problem with that is the fact that as soon as the Undertaker's gone, the Reigns is going to feud with Strowman again.
Yeah,
That's pretty much what they said.
right.
You know what I mean? From the way they've been booking stuff. But so you're going with Sami Zayn,
Yeah.
and I'm going with Braun Strowman.
You know what's nice though? We haven't had a single pick that was the same.
Yeah,
so,
it's weird.
I mean, granted, there's only been one match that we've gone over where it's only a singles match.
Wow, I'm retarded. I wrote Sammy Strowman.
That would be an interesting character.
It's true. The big, hairy, skinny ginger man.
I wonder how he would be at multitasking.
He'd be the worst wrestler ever.
While you're doing that, we have the triple threat tag ladder match between the champions, the Club, Gallows and Anderson, which I don't even think they're
not the
referred
Club
to as
anymore.
the Club.
They're just Gallows and Anderson.
That's true. Versus Enzo Amore and Big Cass, and versus Sheamus and Cesaro. I wonder how Sheamus is going to look after taking that ladder
got
shot. to
smacked in the
face.
head.
Yeah.
He's a trooper, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's for sure.
3 months ago, when the Club first got their title win, I was guaranteed that Big Cass and Enzo were going to have the titles at WrestleMania.
Yeah. You're not
It's
feeling it?
kind of hard to believe that now, because I think that they see them more as a comedy act or just a pop. Yeah, just something that makes the crowd pop.
No,
it doesn't matter what they do.
Well, you see, my thinking here is actually I'm going to choose Big Cass and Enzo, and this is their maybe last shot as a tag team. And if they do well as champions, they'll keep them together. Otherwise, I mean, eventually it's going to happen. They're going to split up because Big Cass is
bound
a big
for
sweaty
greatness.
man that Vince McMahon loves.
Yeah.
So
That's I don't think that if they do get the titles that it's going to be like whether or not they can hang kind of thing, because they're very good to begin with. So.
Right, but I don't know what their thinking is on WWE. That is,
Yeah,
about keeping them a tag team and how long it's gonna happen.
yeah. I'm gonna pick something that I don't want to pick, but I think that is gonna happen. I'm gonna pick Gallows and Anderson.
Entertaining. I mean, that would be my second choice. I don't see Cesaro and Sheamus.
Besides the fact that the two of them are so good together.
Yeah,
It's amazing how well they mesh, especially considering how
right.
neither of them were doing anything when the brand split happened.
That's very true. And then we got the best of 7 match, which the first 6 matches we
Were
really
eh.
didn't
No
care,
one cared.
and
It
then
was
the
Sheamus and
7th
Cesaro.
match they put on a really good match. And you were kind of like, you know what, kind of getting into this, and then they were tag team.
But yeah, I'm not a big fan of Gallows and Anderson keeping the titles. Not that they're bad. They're good heels.
Right.
But I think that they're going to try to build up their credibility by having them win this.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'm not disagreeing with that, but I mean, it just like on SmackDown, the tag division is just
Whoop. Who cares?
Yeah,
It doesn't
pretty
matter.
much.
It
And it's
doesn't
so
matter.
sad because NXT is tag team wrestling. I mean,
Yeah, they have good tag teams because, Heavy Machinery is coming up soon.
they were fantastic. Their theme music is amazing. I love that the truck is backing up and it's making the beeping noise. It's what can I say?
Yep.
They just reminded me of Rhino so much in the ring. The one
I
guy.
guess it's true. Yeah, he does act like a Rhino,
Yeah.
that's for sure.
But no, they were very charismatic, and the crowd was behind him.
Yeah.
So
Well, they're getting pushed, so obviously they're going to care
Well-
more about the named guys than the non-named guys.
absolutely.
So, all right. Next we have the Intercontinental Championship. It's going to be Dean Ambrose versus Baron Corbin in a singles match, not a like any kind
Maybe
of no
stipulation
disqualification match, not a false
Yeah.
count anywhere. not
I think that'll be for the rematch.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Which is weird because the buildup has nothing but interference weapons. So
Oh yeah, no, absolutely.
because someone got ran over with a forklift. So, but whatever.
He had internal bleeding. They knew it right then and there.
It's true. You can tell. You can tell from the outside.
Yeah. I think it's Corbin's time. Dean really hasn't done anything with the title. I mean, he had a thing with the Miz, right? And then it was
Yeah. Well,
right to
that was
Corbin.
only for the rematch, basically.
Yeah.
Though. All right. So I'm gonna have to disagree. I think that Dean's gonna keep it, but by DQ. I think what's gonna happen is Baron's gonna get frustrated because he can't win. And then he's just going to take a chair and beat the crap out of Dean with it, or something of that nature.
Which will probably culminate for the weeks afterward,
yes, it's
leading
gonna lead
to
into
some sort of
Extreme Rules, which I'm sure is coming up.
Yeah,
And I
something.
guess it's going to be a SmackDown match, is why they're building up the extra aggression going on there.
which,
So,
like you said, it almost doesn't make sense that they didn't do some sort of stipulation because everything's kind of taking place outside the ring.
so they're just waiting until they can blow it off in a few months. So that's how I'm thinking with that.
All right, that's not a bad thought. Can
And
agree
so
with
far,
that.
we have not agreed on any of them, which is kind of weird because I figured we would.
Coming up to this next match,
Yes,
I
the next
think
one
we
we
are
both
in
are gonna-
agreement.
yeah.
I believe Jericho is leaving there, and there's also an H in his name that you did not include.
Sorry,
I know you're not an English scholar or anything, but
I'm not.
I think Jericho's leaving to
Yeah, it's gonna
tour
be.
with Fozzy.
Yeah, it's
so,
KO.
Yeah,
KO all the
Owens. And
It's gonna be a good match though.
oh, definitely, they've done some of the best story building with this. How long were they together for?
8 months, maybe.
Yeah, something like that.
The only real question is, does Samoa Joe get involved?
I would assume so, but then you don't know. Does he get involved in this match? Does he get involved with the Rollins Triple H match?
Well, so far Samoa Joe hasn't done any, or doesn't have anything to do. I don't even think he's in the Battle Royal.
no, I don't believe so.
Since that's the case, that's got to mean that he's probably going to get involved with both. Since supposedly we're looking at a potential new Evolution stable,
Right.
with Owens, Joe, and Triple H, and
And Elias Sampson.
Yes, it's going to be Elias Sampson.
They need their own Seth Rollins, I'm telling you.
It's true. So what everyone needs, a homeless gentleman.
He just wanted his damn guitar. That's all.
Like I said, that was terrible story writing because now I feel bad for the guy.
Dragged out and thrown out of the arena.
And he
Back to his home, though.
Yeah. All right, let's move on. Back to his home.
The women's elimination match for the women's championship
On Raw.
On Raw, that's correct. We have the champion Bayley defending against Charlotte Flair, Sasha Banks, and Nia Jax, who was added 2 weeks ago, I think.
I think so.
Yeah. There's a lot of moving parts here. I don't know which way they're going to go with this because this is the only 4 women that are featured on Monday Night Raw. So,
because now basically it's okay. We're just going to change the feud from Bayley and Charlotte to probably Bayley and Sasha and Charlotte and Nia, which is going to mean that Charlotte's going to turn face.
But with Charlotte turning face,
Sasha's turning heel.
Yes.
My prediction is going to be that Bayley retains by less than eliminating Nia Jax. So what's going to happen is that Sasha's going to come in the ring after Bayley wins, and she's going to turn on her after pretending like she's celebrating with her.
You know, I really didn't have a pick for this match, but I think I'm going to agree with you. I like the prediction for that.
It's the best way to go because
it makes sense, and that would build up a Bayley and
it's the
Sasha.
Story.
Yeah.
All right.
Very good.
So that one was an easy one. The next, the highly anticipated John Cena and Nikki Bella versus The Miz and Maurice. And when you first hear those words, you're like, really? They're gonna do that? But surprisingly, The Miz and John Cena have done a very good job carrying this small feud for a couple of weeks.
Just fantastic. It's definitely been one of the highlights of SmackDown for the last month and a half. Right? Month?
If even.
Yeah, maybe it hasn't. I mean, there was just hints of it happening, and then all of a sudden it came to a head. But I think we're both in agreement here.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be John Cena and Nikki Bella.
With John Cena proposing afterward?
Yeah.
Who
cares? That's not really that important.
No, but he ripped The Miz a new one on SmackDown. I thought he was going to cry.
The two of them, if they could have the program forever as far as I'm concerned, as long as they keep it fresh.
Oh, absolutely.
Because even if they change the topic of conversation every time, because it's John Cena is the best face talker, and The Miz is a fantastic heel talker.
There is no denying that one. All right, and up next we have the AJ Styles versus Shane McMahon match, which I think a lot of people weren't on board with at first, but I think they're kind of changing people's minds.
The build-up's been pretty good.
Yeah.
It seems on paper like a waste of AJ, considering the way that everything's worked out. You know what I mean? You kind of figured that he would want to be in the title match for WrestleMania.
No, absolutely.
The run he's had.
But you had to think that the Wyatt Orton match was eventually going to happen.
Woo.
Yeah, I'm still very disappointed that in the list of Shane McMahon matches, Steve Blackman and X-Pac were not mentioned on SmackDown.
That is true. That was pretty fun.
Well, I mean, actually, the Steve Blackman was a pretty big one. That was when he fell off the Titantron, right? He took a kendo stick to the back.
That was probably something that if they made a montage of Shane McMahon spots,
right?
That would be on there.
I mean, number one would obviously be the Kurt Angle throwing through the glass and it not breaking and then throwing again.
It's true.
But I really like that AJ mentioned that this is going to be a wrestling match, Shane. Mm-hmm. This isn't going to be your normal match. Mm-hmm. You're going to be in the ring with one of, if not the best wrestlers. So
he's not wrong there.
That's true, and I think I'm going to have to pick AJ. I don't know about yourself.
I'm going with AJ as well.
Right. There's no reason for Shane.
There's no reason for Shane to win.
No.
The only reason is if they made a stipulation where if AJ lost, he had to leave SmackDown.
Right. Do we see the match ending maybe in a handshake and a face turn for AJ, or you think?
Absolutely not.
No, not yet.
No. I don't think AJ's going to stay. I think he's going to keep his heel persona and just go to Raw.
Yeah.
There's too many faces on Raw for him to feud with.
We'll come back to this when we get to the WWE title match.
Sure. Okay.
So
we're both going with AJ.
Yeah. So
We weren't sure about the order on this one, but
yeah, I mean, it just didn't seem like they would do 2 grudge matches back to back.
well, specifically grudge matches that have to do with authority figures.
Well,
I think that was the biggest problem.
That's true. But next, in our minds, we think it's going to be Triple H versus Seth Rollins in a non-sanctioned match.
They haven't done one of these since Triple H and Shawn Michaels back at SummerSlam.
Yes, which I was at, and it was
back at the old Coliseum.
Yeah, fantastic match to see
bloody
live.
match.
Yeah.
Wonder if they'll do that.
I would assume so.
They're not going to do that.
Maybe accidentally.
I guess like he getting hit with a ladder or something.
Yeah, it's possible.
There will be weapons though.
Absolutely.
And run-ins.
And apparently Rollins is actually sick now. He had a video that was posted earlier. He's got some sort of cold or something like that. So he's all in the down in the dumps.
Sure.
Yeah.
That sounds legit.
Yeah. No.
There's a WWE.com video.
I honestly don't know. I
sure
just
it
saw
was.
a video of it.
Yeah. Them and their shoot style videos. So yeah, this definitely isn't staged.
So we would both assume that Rollins is 100% ready to go, right?
He has to be.
At least
He has to be.
95%.
Yeah. They wouldn't have the match if they thought they were actually going to re-injure him.
Now, is this going to be the end of the feud, or are they going to?
No. Well, what's going to happen is that Joe's going to interfere as well, and is going to make Triple H win. I'm going to go with Triple H winning.
Yeah, which would set up Rollins and Joe.
Rollins and Joe, or Rollins versus the New Evolution.
Yeah. Well, and then the reformation of the Shield, possibly.
That would come
much later
as a SummerSlam match, if anything.
Yeah, or would you think maybe later on, even?
At the earliest SummerSlam
Yeah, all
match.
right, fair enough.
Because,
I could see that being a Survivor Series style.
Yeah, it's true. That could happen. So, but a more likely would be maybe Balor replaces Ambrose.
Right, that's true.
But then what's Strowman going to do?
There's a lot of big names on Raw that you don't know exactly what they're going to do
exactly.
with them.
So at the very least, there's going to be a lot of clean slates coming up.
Yeah, that's for sure.
So that's there's only a few feuds here that are definitely going to carry on.
Yeah, and besides the Wyatt family, there really hasn't been many stables that have
stuck around.
Yeah, I mean, what did we have last? The
New Day.
Nations.
The New Day.
Yeah, I mean, they're not really. I guess
You can't say they're not a stable.
I guess so.
Because there's 3 of them.
Yeah, but anyway, I'm gonna agree with you and say Triple H is gonna win.
Quadruple H.
Yes, Quadruple H.
The man with 3 H's.
Yes.
All right. Coming up next is the most anticipated match of the night. Actually, no, that's not even true.
That's not true.
I
can
can say that about the next one.
I mean, well, that's true as well. The build was all right for this. I mean, so many crimes being committed.
The build was weird.
Well,
that's the best way to put it.
When has anything that has to do with Bray Wyatt been normal?
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to be perfectly honest with you guys.
You don't care.
I don't care. I do not like Bray Wyatt at all. I know that's probably against what pretty much everybody who watches wrestling thinks. We've only been watching for a couple of years, if even, and our entire experience with Bray Wyatt is this weird guy who goes oogity boogity and loses. That's it. It's impossible to get behind him.
Yeah. Christina and I actually came up with a new character for Bray Wyatt.
Husky Harris.
No. It was going to be a new rendition of the Ultimate Warrior, but he was going to be Ultimate White Trash. He was going to change his camo pants into camo cutoff shorts, have flip-flops with socks, and the tassels were going to be like maybe bags or some sort of recycled goods.
Wow.
Yeah, there was a lot of thought going on.
Wow.
Behind this.
It's some brainstorming right there.
Yeah, it was definitely a meeting of the minds.
Okay. That works.
I'm going to have to say Randy Orton is leaving with the WWE title.
Of course he is.
Which brings me back to my point.
Yeah, I have no idea what you were talking about with that.
AJ and Randy Orton having a feud.
That's possible.
But I think Randy Orton's supposed to be the face.
Oh, Randy Orton's the face in this feud.
Right.
Because Bray Wyatt is the devil.
Right. Even though he just burnt down his.
Doesn't matter. Do you know what he did in that house? Satanic rituals. And
That's
probably some
necrophilia.
No, I was thinking more of incest.
Oh,
yeah.
Which leads me back to the ultimate white trash character. So,
okay. Yeah, sure, that makes sense.
There's more to Sister Abigail than we know.
Yeah, well, everyone kind of assumed that it was going to actually be a person at some point.
That's true.
I guess they kind of put that to rest.
Yeah.
Or she'll be reincarnated in somebody. I was honestly a big fan of the suggestion or the fan theory, whatever you want to call it, that Alexa Bliss was Sister Abigail.
Really?
Yeah. What culture did a what if or something like that, or how they should book?
Yeah.
On that, and that was actually a very good idea.
That would have been the way to bring her up into WWE.
This is actually after she came up.
Or would this be like an old school Ministry of Darkness thing? Where,
yes, it'd be more like that.
Okay.
Where she was coerced into thinking that that's what's going on, or into like joining Bray, somewhat like Randy did.
I think they could have done it with a Nikki Cross and brought Sanity up and had a Sanity Wyatt family feud. I mean, obviously in the future.
Oh, a feud.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought you were going to say they teamed together.
No.
Although at this point it really doesn't look like the Wyatt family is going to be a thing anymore.
Well, do we know what Eric Rowan is doing when he comes back?
Honestly, if Harper is not going to get a legitimate push and he doesn't feud with Baron Corbin for the IC title coming up, I think that the two of them should team together and just run ruckshot on the tag team division.
I'm 100% behind that.
Because them as a tag team was a very dominant force. They were big in NXT.
Well, they were tag champs, right, in NXT, I believe? Yeah.
And ever since they got called up with that smelly guy, they just been losing and losing and losing.
Yeah, the Wyatt family does not have a very good track
history. They're the new job squad.
Think about how Braun Strowman was when he was a member.
He was not taken seriously at all.
No. And now he almost killed Roman Reigns, throwing him down the
my God, that was scary. The way he bounced off the ramp.
Yeah.
It was like it was a trampoline.
Which brings us to our next match.
That was a nice segue right there.
The Undertaker versus Roman Reigns. The big dog. The battle of the yard.
Yeah. This is actually probably the least anticipated match because no one wants Undertaker to go out like this.
Right.
Which seems to be what is going to happen.
I think the WWE was a little forced here because this was it for the Undertaker. I think they thought he might have been in better shape to go for another round, but this looks like it could be it.
Yeah, I'm guessing at this point he knows that he's done, or he'll, in true Undertaker fashion, just pull one out next year too.
It's possible, but I mean, do you think they're really going to prolong the hip surgery for another year?
No, I don't think that's what's going to happen. I think he just might go after he has it.
Yeah, the hip replacement, I think they said his career was completely done after he has that.
Yes, but this is the Undertaker we're talking about.
That's true.
It doesn't really matter. Supposedly, Shawn Michaels had a career-ending back injury, and he came back 4 years later.
That's true.
So that means we could be seeing a 60-year-old Undertaker at one point in time.
We don't need a Hulk Hogan versus the Undertaker.
He's going to be the WWE champion at 60 years old. They call it.
Well, I think is Flair still kicking around, right?
I don't think Flair has been active in some time.
Terry Funk still is, I believe.
I'm sure, and he's probably almost as old as Flair.
Or actually, I think he might have had his retirement match recently. But then again,
yeah, but still, he definitely wrestled into his 60s, just like Lawler.
Yes,
he still technically wrestles.
Yeah, that's true. I believe he's doing something probably in Memphis.
Probably that's
God
his
knows
place.
What.
Oh, well, yeah, you don't want to know what he's doing in Memphis, but he's doing something.
That's for sure.
That man, he loves his puppies.
Yes, he does. And while we're on the subject of Lawler, we still would have liked to see Austin Aries do a Jerry Lawler type situation where he's both a commentator and a wrestler, and that's how his feud starts.
Yeah, his feud started by making fun of people, throwing bananas at people and stuff like that.
I love that he gave a kid a banana peel last week. I believe that was on 205 Live. Or was it on Raw?
It was probably on Raw, actually.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on to the actual subject. Roman Reigns versus The Undertaker.
Is this going to be a passing of the torch?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's Roman Reigns' yard now, that's for sure.
Sir.
Everyone's going to be excited about that.
Now, I mean, this is going to sound terrible, but should be there a stipulation of if the Undertaker is able to make it out of the ring or not.
You mean in our prediction, or
I guess
he could, technically speaking, get another concussion.
Well, he doesn't look like he moves very well.
He doesn't, but I think that they're aware of that now.
Did he not collapse against, what was that, Lesnar in
Yes.
the entranceway leaving?
Yes.
Was that SummerSlam or was that the Hell in a Cell match?
That was probably
I think it was SummerSlam because I thought this was going to be the end of Undertaker in the Hell in a Cell.
Yeah. But yeah, like I said, I think they're more aware of his physical ailments now than they were. So they're probably going to be a little more careful.
Yeah.
Which means not such a good match.
And good thing Reigns only has 5 moves to use on him, so at least he knows how to prepare himself for them.
And not many of them involve him leaving his feet.
The
only one is the
drop?
spear. Well, yeah, I guess. But either way, it's going to be a shitty match. It's going on second to last, probably.
I really did enjoy that video with The Undertaker from Monday.
Oh, the package?
Yeah,
that's pretty good. It wasn't as good as Austin Aries' package, but it was good. It was put together well. And then he magically appeared in the ring behind Reigns.
Just to say, rest in peace.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. As I was saying.
And, I mean, granted, we were told that the winner of the Royal Rumble would be in the main event.
WrestleMania.
We don't believe that is the plan now. Bill Goldberg versus Brock Lesnar for the Universal title.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
this wasn't supposed to be a title match.
Not really a match I care about either.
No, it's hard to get interested in Brock Lesnar and Goldberg now. Because we saw it at Survivor Series and it was very underwhelming.
But I understand why they're doing it.
Oh, no. Yeah, it's the casual fan.
Yeah, absolutely.
The people that we don't care about.
Well, that's when you put it that way. But I think we're actually going to get a match here. This isn't going to be a squash.
Yeah, if what Goldberg said in his interview with Edge and Christian on that podcast, and the only reason why the match was the way it was because he was that hamstring injury, I think they said.
He wasn't ready to go.
Yeah, he wasn't ready to go.
They called him what? Was it July or later? No, it was
probably later than that.
Yeah,
unless what they did was they came up with the cover with Brock Lesnar, and then at the last minute they decided to add Goldberg.
Yeah, that's possible.
But yeah, if it's a good match, I'm completely okay with it being the main event, as long as something happens.
Well, yeah. Something's got to happen.
It can't end the same way as Survivor Series.
Yeah, that's for sure. And I mean, after the response from last year's main event in WrestleMania, I would think they want to change that.
Well,
not many people were happy to see Triple H versus Roman Reigns.
Yeah, well, this match, just on the premise that it's not Roman Reigns in the main event, kind of makes people happier about it.
But this is us going on speculation. There is always a possibility that the Undertaker and Roman Reigns could main event, as it could possibly be.
Oh, it's absolutely possible, but it doesn't mean. Who knows?
So, I mean, I'm going to go with Lesnar.
Going with Lesnar?
Yeah. I don't know if that's your choice.
Absolutely.
Well, I mean, I've heard a few things saying that Goldberg may stick around for a little while, but I don't see the title being around his waist.
Yeah, well, if he does stay, they can't keep him in a program with Lesnar because Lesnar's not going to be around.
Yeah.
So even if Goldberg does his twice-a-month appearances on Raw, he'll just probably feud with, I don't know. There's probably got to be some kind of heel.
Yeah, unless they do Strowman.
That would probably make the most amount of sense and free up Reigns to do the feud and team up with Rollins again.
Right.
Which I'm 100% behind because I think that Rollins and Reigns would be a very good team.
Yeah.
And if they add Balor to that, it'd be a home run.
Which, I mean, I guess speaking, if Brock Lesnar does have the title and is off TV, at least that would show precedence, the feud with Triple H and the new evolution, you want to call it that.
Yeah. They've proven once before that you don't need the top champion on the show every single week.
That's true.
Because they did it with Lesnar the last time he was champion.
And that is very true.
But yeah.
So hopefully it's not a disappointing Mania, which I don't think it's going to be.
There's too many good matches on this card for it to be bad. The biggest problem with this is just there's so much going on that who knows, or the best match can't go on last.
Right.
Because what's going to be the best match is not going to be what the WWE thinks is going to be the
main event.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's probably the best match is probably going to be somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
I think that Kevin Owens and Jericho are going to put on a very good showing.
That definitely has the possibility of being the best match of the night.
Yeah,
as well.
That triple threat ladder match could be a lot better than people would assume.
Right, and maybe we'll get to see a Hardys.
It's also possible we could have some tag team apocalypto going on.
That's true. Yeah.
And if WrestleMania opened like that, it would kind of set the tone.
Oh, absolutely. Even just maybe them making a run-in at the end or something like that.
Yeah. It doesn't necessarily mean that they have to be. The only disappointing part would be as if they go to Raw.
Right.
Because Raw doesn't need them.
That's true.
But
and the only titles not being defended is the SmackDown Tag.
SmackDown Tag Team Championship not being defended.
Yeah.
Because that's where the pre-show is, or that's where the Battle Royal is. It's all tag teams.
That's true. So this has been our WrestleMania 33 predictions, and we hope you guys join us next week for our WrestleMania review and the start of our Raw and SmackDown review.
Well, I hope you guys enjoy the show, and I'll talk to you later.
Bye.